As the government of Saskatchewan prepares to announce what school will look like for students this fall, more parents are considering homeschooling their children. I spoke with one local mother who has some homeschooling tips. So I'm joined today with Janelle Reinhardt, a local mother here in Lloydminster who homeschools her kids and has an upcoming Zoom session called Is Homeschooling Right for You? An Intro to the Basics. We're going to be talking a little bit about what people can see in that Zoom session and also homeschooling in general. Thanks for taking some time to talk to me today.
Yeah, so happy to be here. I just wanted to walk alongside some of these newbies that are wanting some more information and just really wanting to know where to start. Because, it can be really stressful when you don't know what you're getting yourself into. You don't know what the options are. It's like walking in the dark with no flashlight. So I just wanted to be a flashlight and just help some people out. Because I know when I first started, some people came alongside me, and that's what I think was really instrumental in helping me be successful right off the top.
So just to start off today, what made you first want to homeschool your kids at the beginning of everything?
Well, for us, it was kind of, well, I should say what happened was my husband and I were actually professional musicians, and we were on tour. We were living out of a tour bus. And so we honestly just couldn't stay still long enough to put our kids in school. Then we did for a period have our firstborn in kindergarten, but he missed too much school. So coming grade 1, we just thought, hey, we'll start homeschooling. Now, I have to admit, though, I kind of went into it kicking and screaming. My husband was all over it because he'd had family members that were homeschooling. And I was kind of like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. I don't know if I can teach my kids, because some days I want to pin them to a wall. I don't necessarily want to be with them 24/7. But we jumped into it headlong, and I just did some research and called some people that I knew were homeschooling, and lo and behold, just one day at a time, we were doing it.
So for people who are maybe interested in it or wanting to learn more or take the first steps, what are some tips for people who are, like you said, newbies and interested in homeschooling their children in this upcoming fall school year?
Yeah, so, I'm going to be going over a lot of this in the Zoom call, but there's really 5 things that I always share with brand new homeschoolers, and it really just is a paradigm shift. A lot of people think they have to do what was going on at school at home. And when you home educate, that's actually not the case at all. So that in and of itself alleviates a lot of pressure. So do not compare your child's school experience and expect that you need to recreate that in your home, because you will lose your mind, especially if you have more than one child. And I think a lot of parents can attest to this, because when COVID hit and you had to do the curriculum that was given from the school at home, it was hard for some families because it wasn't created as a home-based education program. So when you decide to homeschool, that's the first thing you can scratch off your list and be relieved about. The second thing that I always like to share with people is you can ignore the straw man argument that your child will be socially unacceptable, because that is really just silly. There's no other place in the real world where people will be stuck with the same age for 9 months of a year. It just never happens in the real world. And so your child will learn empathy and self-control and patience and conflict resolution. They will learn those in your home by your example. And you know what? Being social is so much more than just learning how to work with people of the same age. So, you can scratch that one off your list too. The next thing is, I always encourage people to just really ease into your homeschooling experience. So you don't have to do every subject every day. You can simply just, do a couple of subjects, even just start 2 days a week doing school. For most of my homeschooling career, we've been homeschooling now for over 12 years. Our oldest just graduated this year. We have 7 children. And 5 of them are homeschooling. Of course, the one is off now. But we honestly only homeschool 4 days a week. So the 5th day is our cleaning day, chore day, whatever. But you can get a lot done. And honestly, in the classroom, there's a lot of time that's dedicated to discipline and moving from one room to the other or one subject to the other. In a homeschool atmosphere, you have maybe 3 or 4 or 5 kids, and they're your own children, and you can basically school 2 or 3 hours a day and you're done. I mean, for high schoolers, it might be a little bit more, but elementary, 2 or 3 hours, that's like plenty. You get all your stuff done. So don't think you have to be sitting at your kitchen table from 8 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. It doesn't have to be that way. And then the fourth thing is, I like to see myself as not a teacher, but a facilitator, because being a teacher can be really daunting. Like, I don't know all the things. I don't know how to teach everything. But you're just a facilitator. And the homeschool manuals nowadays are like dummy proof. It's like, say this and they will say that. And, you know, it's like super easy going. So you're just a facilitator. You're going to learn alongside your child. You'll have great discussions. It's really a rich experience. And the last super practical thing I say, you're going to have to learn how to batch cook. Now, this is for the moms out there, because I can assure you that getting lunch on the table by 12:31 or whatever your time for lunch is going to be nearly impossible if you don't have meals cooked ahead of time. And so nobody wants to spend hours on end in the kitchen. So on our day where we have our chore day, it's also our cook day. Spend with the kids 2 or 3 hours and we'll make like 10 meals or whatever, casseroles, slow cooker meals, whatever you can make, but learn how to batch cook. It's going to save your life. And so those are the 5 top things that I'll share more on my Zoom call, but those are kind of the top things that I'd like to share. And then the one that we're going to explore very much in depth on the Zoom call is going to be the 3 types of homeschooling you can do. A lot of people, you know, they see people homeschool and they're like, oh my gosh, I could never do that. Well, it's like, you know what? That type of homeschooling might not be your jam. So there's actually 3 types that are approved by Alberta Education. And so you have options. And we're going to be going through those in a Zoom call more in depth to really help people out.
So you talked a bit about the Zoom call. How can people register or take part in that Zoom call with you? I believe it's tomorrow, am I correct?
Yeah, so tomorrow at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I'm going to be doing a live Zoom call, and you can register on Eventbrite at Homeschooling Intro. It's also on my Instagram under my bio. So Janelle Reinhardt, Janelle, Reinhardt, Reinhart. And the link is https bit.ly/homeschooling intro. And you can go ahead and get a free Eventbrite ticket. Just enter your information into that, and then we will be sending out a Zoom link via that ticket holder. So yeah, super easy. It's free. Like I said, I just really wanted to come alongside. My inbox was getting inundated with messages from family and friends and people that were just interested in homeschooling. And I thought, I'm just going to do a Zoom call and open it up to anybody that would just like a little bit of beacon of light shone in their darkness. And I promise you, it's not as scary as it seems. You can do this. You love your child more than anybody else. And in that way, you can be the primary educator, and you're actually called to be a primary educator of your child. And so it's really going to be an awesome time to be with you guys tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it, and I'll be answering questions over the Zoom as well.
Well, thanks so much for taking some time to talk with me, Janelle, and sharing some of your wealth amount of experience, and I hope you have a good day.